back to David Does What He Wants, and today I will be giving another unit table of organization for Fight Your Own Battles and Heroes All, the free rule set written by Barry Miltonberg for World War II battalion and regimental sized combat. This one here is a force that can fight against the force I did in my last video, the German Volksgrenadier Kampfgruppe. This is a American 101st Airborne Bastogne defense unit. So starting off here, we have the Corps, which is going to be 2 companies of Screaming Eagles Infantry, 101st Airborne Infantry. These are all veteran, elite, enhanced infantry, and they come in teams of 12, platoons of 12, and I've given them a special rule where they, normally firing squad units can be 10 figures, up to 10 figures. These guys here can get up to 12 figures. But moving right in, we have 3 platoons, all armed with the same loadout, which is 6 men with rifles, 4 men with submachine guns, and a light machine gun team of 2 men. That's the basic infantry platoons. Behind the infantry platoons, on the far right and center, you can see 2 60mm mortars, medium mortars. These are providing fire support. Normally, these airborne companies had several of these, so that's to represent them. On the far right, we have the bazooka team, which is just your average anti-tank, and on the far left, we have the light mortar, and in the center, we have their unit commander. You're going to get 2 of these for each battalion. So, moving on to the next unit. Next up, we have this massive, almost battalion-sized formation here, and this is our American Armored Rifle Company. Obviously, there are no half-tracks. You could include half-tracks with them. I'm not going to, just for purposes of size and fairness. But, starting without further ado, we have 3 platoons, all equipped with 10 men. 2 of them have submachine guns, the NCO and 1 other man. They have a 2-man light machine gun team, and then they just have 6 guys with rifles. Then in the far right-hand corner, we have a 50 caliber machine gun team. In the center, we have a 30 caliber machine gun team, and on the far left-hand corner, we have a 60mm mortar for some fire support. In front of the 3 platoons, we have 3 bazooka teams. These all operate as independent small teams, and then the artillery piece on the far left is a 57mm or 75mm American anti-tank gun. You can and probably should include a truck for that. This is a big kicker. You only get 1 of these, but this is a solid reserve unit and can basically take on anything in encounters. These are all regular infantry, so yeah, good unit, solid unit, and incredibly large, as the American Armored Rifle Battalions were. This formation here we have is unit artillery. We have an M7 Priest self-propelled artillery gun and a M103 howitzer. The M103 howitzer is actually a 25-pounder that is subbing as an M103 howitzer. We also, in the foreground with the Jeep, have a 2-man observation team, which can spot for both the artillery and the mortars in the infantry companies. This unit here, mixed artillery, you can do 2 M7s, you can do 2 M103s, you can do 2 of each, but this is how I chose to do it per the units that they had in Bastogne at the time. And here we have our unit anti-tank. I have 2 more M10 tank destroyers that are coming in but haven't arrived yet. This is a scratch-built M10 tank destroyer, as well as a very poorly scratch-built M3 Stuart. The M3 Stuart is the company headquarters, and then 3 M10s is the anti-tank gun allotment. You can also sub this out for 3 M18s or 2 M36 Jacksons. This gives you some kick to deal with German tanks, and also some mobile reserves in case you need them. So, yeah. Now we have perhaps the most iconic tank America has ever made. Signifying truly the American war effort, we have 2 companies of M4 Shermans. Starting on the far right in the back, we have a Jumbo, then we have a Firefly, which is a substitute for an Easy 8, and then on the other side, we have 3 75mm Shermans. We will have 2 of these companies in each unit. I chose not to show both of them because that takes up way more than the entire table. But you can use these as your armored spearhead. You can use them to hold back. I'd like to use them as a mobile reserve to try to counter any German attacks, because you know the Germans will counterattack. Solidly built tank and basically encompassing all of America's effort for World War II. So that's a go-to unit for any American force. Next, we have some units borrowed from the British, which the British indeed did send units to Bastogne and the front around Bastogne during the Battle of the Bulge, as it was a time of great Allied need, and if the Germans broke through, they would be running rampant in the British rear areas, as much and even maybe more so than the American ones. Anyway, we have a scout platoon of 6 American paratroopers. They have a bazooka team, 2-man bazooka team, who are also armed with submachine guns, a 2-man light machine gun team who are also armed with submachine guns, and then 2 soldiers armed with submachine guns, the one in the right foreground, the far right foreground being the leader. They are mounted in a Bren gun carrier, and then we also have a British Humber Mark IV armored car. So this is your reconnaissance element, and also a good screening unit for your American mixed battalion. And of course, no American late war force would be complete without some sort of unit to signify their complete and total air supremacy. Here we have a P-47 ground attack aircraft. It's armed with 6 rocket launchers, 2 500-pound bombs, and 450 caliber machine guns on each wing. It's also fairly heavily armored and really maneuverable, so this is a good all-round aircraft. You can use your forward observer to call it on the table or set it in to reserve to scout ahead at the start of the game. Normally, aircraft are not normally used, but this is a great unit to have in any American force and really limits and blocks out any massive advantages held by the Germans in armor and or infantry. And here we have the American Battalion HQ unit. This consists of 1 M4 Sherman, which is the tank company headquarters. Tank battalion headquarters, I guess is what it is. Then next we have the American battalion leader. This is a 3-man squad mounted in a Jeep or some other armored command vehicle for the Americans. And finally we have a 6-man engineer team, including a man-pack flamethrower. And these guys are mounted in a truck, just any old American truck will do. You can also include a pontoon bridging unit in this, and you can also include some flak if you should need it, but the Luftwaffe does not often make major appearances. So thanks for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe. Also, please check out the link below for the Fight Your Own Battles and Heroes All free rule sets. They're totally free. All unit cards included. It's also got a great YouTube channel which includes lots of the rules needed. So, thanks for watching.